Year from Divergence Cast to you people in the future. I say people in the future because we are recording this episode of Divergence Cast in the past. Though, actually, that's exactly how we normally record our podcast, but whatever. I'm one of your hosts. A New Year's resolution to start out as this year I'll lose weight and ends up being I'll watch more anime, also known as JJ. I am joined by a New Year's resolution to have his phone stop ringing less during our podcast that it'll break later in this episode, Alex.
Hi.
And a New Year's resolution to have a pink-haired Yandri put a knife to his throat that will never happen, Stranger.
E.
And a special New Year's resolution to narrate more things with a Morgan Freeman impersonation, Adam.
My actual New Year's resolution is 1920 by 1080.
And with that, we shall do a special episode that will be a review episode of this week of this is fall season 2014. So first up, our weeks first. So how about you, Alex?
Well, of course, that Christmas happened, and now I have a bunch of shit to play. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've celebrated Christmas and whatnot. Bought a shitload of games on during the Steam sale, and also got new 3DS and whatnot, and bought a couple games for that. Or got a couple games, and also bought a few games on the eShop. But yeah, other than that, that's for all I've been doing.
And you, Adam?
Well, it's been so long since I've been on here, I can't really go over everything I've done. But shows of
I
note.
watched like 3 episodes of anime in that time.
Since the last time I was on, I've watched 3 episodes of Katana Gatari.
Oh, nice. So did you watch the preview for, I think, episode 3?
I've watched all
episode
the previews.
Yeah. And how did you feel when it didn't end up how you were expecting?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
This was a long time ago, JJ. My whole point is I'm incredibly slow paced. Hold on, I'm gonna rewatch it right now.
And Divergence Cast.
We just randomly leave to watch anime from time to time.
Anyways, I guess we'll move on to you, Stranger.
Okay, well, of course I got that Vita, so I finally started getting games for it with Danganronpa. Which so far that seems pretty interesting, kind of like a mixture of VLR and Professor Layton. And wow, there was an echo.
Do you have VLR for Vita yet?
Not yet.
That's something I would expect.
Soon. And then other than that, I mean, finally started Fate Stay Night. Other than that, like, not really nothing.
Yes.
Yes, I finally started that show. I couldn't watch it simulcasted because I probably couldn't have stood handling it week from week.
Yeah, Crunchyroll's been down for that from that DDoS attack.
Fuck Crunchyroll! Damn it!
Oh, that's what happened?
DDoS. They said it was like the DDoS attacks for both PSN and Xbox Live happened to a Crunchyroll site.
Huh.
Well, that is.
By the way, thank God it's not the new year yet because my phone rang anyway. So. Wait, is it actually Lizard Squad that did it?
No, but they say it was like it. So.
No, it's just the same type of attack,
Yeah.
and I remembered what we were talking about with Katana Gatari, of how episode 4, just nothing in the preview happened.
Yeah. How did you feel like when you actually got to see what his sister is all about?
She's awesome. Now, the issue here was that there was such a long period of time between when I watched the episode 3 preview, or the episode 4 preview at the end of episode 3, and when I actually watched episode 4, that I just completely forgot what happened in the preview.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But that girl's awesome.
Yeah.
And terrifying.
And I think she has the highest implied kill count of any yandere out there.
I don't know.
Stranger new
I know.
waifu.
Oh wait. Let's see. Katana Gatari, high priority. Immediately start watching.
Just skip to episode 4.
I have it on loop the rest of my life.
But yeah, anything else, Adam?
About Katana Gatari?
Or anything in general?
Anything in general? Well, I've been watching Canon, 2006, and
There's a
Kanan.
toothbrush scene.
Oh yeah. um, that was nowhere near, thankfully nowhere near Nisa Monogatari levels of toothbrush.
Yeah, though he was tweeting me the pictures in DM and making fun of them, and I was dying. Like I said, the only thing that could have been worse is if she called him
I wasn't.
Oni-chan, and then he sent this picture of it, and oh my god, like, I was just dead.
Stranger, I wasn't making fun of the pictures. I was making fun of you.
Either way, it works.
Don't worry, stranger. We're laughing with you. No, we're not.
Also, I edited that Oni-chan picture just for you.
Oh, I was excited. Like I was like, oh, you actually filmed one.
No, I made that.
My world is just shattered now.
Because
I'm just gonna give up our anime and just watch the E cartoon over and over again.
I don't even think I have anymore. So hopefully you do. Because otherwise I'd have to go back, screenshot it, and then put that subtitle in again.
But anyways, anything else from your week, Adam?
I watched another show with a very similar name to Canon that Stranger recommended like months ago, and I just never got around to watching it until now. And it's called Kanan, Canaan. It was a cool show. It's another one based on the Type Moon, so it's kind of Garden of Sinners, Fate Stay Night type of style.
Yeah, that's the whole reason I recommended it to you is because main character reminds me a lot of Shiki.
Yeah, they've even got the same hair, except one has black hair and the other has white. So
yeah, and then instead of like what was the eyes of death or whatever, yeah, instead of that she has synesthesia.
Super synesthesia. Like,
Yeah.
like that's not how synesthesia works.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Like if it did, I'm pretty sure that people would be a lot more excited about having it.
That wasn't synesthesia. That was eagle vision from Assassin's Creed.
Close enough. I'm sure they made that leap somewhere. But yeah, it was a solid show, but it didn't really do anything particularly great.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching it, but it didn't blow my mind. It felt like very 80s action movie that's so bad that it's good-ish. like there's the terror organization called Snake. And they're doing
Oh my god.
One girl, one gun. One synesthesia.
One synesthesia. Hey, synesthesia. It's like catching a herpes.
We should probably move on. Anything else on your week, Adam?
Well, simulcasts and whatnot, those wrapped up. But I assume we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, let's see. First, I rewatched some of Moribito, and after that, on my way back to and back from relatives over Christmas, I finished like 6 volumes of Blood Blockade Battlefront.
Seemed to like that a little bit.
Yeah, and immediately went ahead and pre-ordered the 7th volume off of Amazon as soon as I got back. And then I played the Steam games I got back over Christmas, and so first I started with Tales from the Borderlands, which I got from one of my Warframe friends, Iggy, and it was a pretty enjoyable little adventure game in the Borderlands setting, and it got Busy Earning by Jungle on repeat. Got me to get the song on repeat a bunch of times, which seems to happen a lot with Borderlands opening songs. And then I played a little bit of Antichamber, which Stranger gifted me.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. It
I
was
think,
kind. Oh, go ahead.
I think you gifted me World End Economica, which I really need to get to.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's see. Also
Oh,
play.
what were you saying about Antichamber?
Uh, it was pretty trippy, but after a while the puzzles got a bit too obtuse for me.
Yeah, it's like
It's 'cause
Portal
you're
on LSD.
stupid.
When I play that game, I was for most for most puzzle games, I'm generally too stupid. I tend to overthink most things. A lot of those I couldn't even figure out, even though I think I figured out quite a bit of what to do at
Yeah,
some points, but
God,
then it got to the point where it was like I was going back and forth and no idea what the hell I was doing.
pretty much.
So
I managed to beat Antichamber without a guide, and I still have no idea how the fuck I accomplished it. Like, I went back
I
to it
think
like, what the hell?
I think there was points where I was like, okay, I'm gonna look a video of this puzzle. I was like, and even then I was like, I just had to keep on referencing the video because I was like, okay, what do I do now? What do I do now? What do I do now?
Yeah.
I'm generally pretty good at puzzle games, but I remember in the first Portal game, there was one puzzle that just took me
Yeah.
forever. Or like,
For me, it was a puzzle in Portal 2, but I think it was only like one or two puzzles in that one that really stumped me. Otherwise, I think I solved them all rather after a bit. But with Antichamber, after a while, I got to puzzles that were I couldn't even. Alex.
Every time.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
Echo.
Echo.
It happens
It
every
happens
time I
every
see
time I see
anything
anything
mute.
mute.
Hello.
Hello.
I
Yep.
was trying to think of something clever for the echo, but it's just not working.
Does it only echo? Oh,
Story of your life.
yeah, it's no longer echoing. But
Yeah.
anyways, but after a while, the puzzle started getting to where I couldn't even remotely figure out how to finish them. But yeah, and let's see,
Sorry about that.
but the main
Going
two.
for the record today, man.
2-1. This is
Hey, Alex,
New
give me
Year's.
your
And
number.
not even in the first 20 minutes. Normally it's like once per show, at best two, and now it's twice, not even in 20 minutes.
Well, it's our New Year's podcast. It's special. But anyways, the main two games I've been playing a lot of, however, have been Planetary Annihilation, which SK gifted me, and Crypt of the Necrodancer, which a Warframe friend of mine, Vamir, gave me. Then I rewatched Ruby Volume 2 with the director commentary, and I'd also like to put in a side note that there's like four commentaries on the Volume 2 of Ruby, which also got me to buy the soundtrack. And then later I tried the pre-alpha of that Ruby game Rooster Teeth put up.
How was
And
that? I thought it looked really cool.
yeah, considering it's in pre-alpha, it was actually it was actually done rather well. Like, it's sort of hacky slashy, but that's kind of the combat I'd expect from a Ruby game.
It looked a little bit like a simplified Devil
Yeah,
May Cry-ish type of
yeah,
thing.
that's kind of ish what it is right now. I mean, I imagine it'll get like right now it's only in pre-alpha, so I imagine they'll improve it after a while. But it's kind of like that. It doesn't really quite have as well of a flow as Devil May Cry does in the combat, but for what it is, it's actually pretty good.
Well, that's to be expected because Devil May Cry is like probably like some of the best at what it does.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But otherwise, then after that, I watched both of the OVAs and movie of Saint Young Men, or also known as that anime where Jesus and Buddha are roommates.
It's like the best concept for an anime.
It's a slice of life about Jesus and Buddha being roommates, and it's freaking hilarious.
My anime list, Saint Young Man.
Before you
Plans
continue,
you
JJ,
watched, High Priority.
Good.
Before you continue, I just want to let you know I'm lucky I had the phone, my mic on mute because my phone just rang again. So,
3 times.
You need to just throw that thing as hard as you can at a wall.
The
maybe just leave it on.
organization is on to us.
Yep.
But,
And before you continue, I actually want to thank you and Stranger for gifting me Torchlight 2 and Fear 2.
You're welcome.
Wow, man.
Thank you, JJ, for FTL.
You're welcome.
JJ just gifted everyone
I think
stuff left and right.
I was pretty much gifting like $60 to $80 worth of games to people. So
I think I only did like 30, and I'm a filthy casual.
Yeah. But yeah. I think I'm going to be doing that every year now.
Yeah, what was that other game I gifted you? Because I have no idea what that was.
I think you gifted me Antichamber and Guns of Icarus, I think, which I
I have
haven't
no
really
idea
played
what
a
it
lot
was.
of, that much of. It's like a steampunk multiplayer game where you're crewman on a blimp and trying to destroy an enemy blimp or something. I haven't played a lot of it yet, but it looked interesting when I was adding it to my wish list.
Yeah, like I had never even heard of it. I was just like, oh, this is cheap. Let me send it to him.
Well, I suppose that was kind
Exactly
of
the way I look at it.
plan I went with for some
That's
people.
the thing. Practically everything is on sale during
Pretty much.
the sale. So
Yeah, when I got you Torchlight 2, it was 80% off.
Yeah.
And that's
actually, I was
like a
considering.
new game, ain't it?
That came out like 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Maybe?
2 years ago.
So,
That's like
how about those anime?
Yeah, we should probably move on.
All them
No, actually, how
animes and
about this? We just
mangas.
make it what we got for Christmas podcast.
We should
But,
just do a
yeah.
Doctor Who podcast.
We already did that. But yeah, and
Never
then
again.
finally I marathoned like all 26 episodes of season 2 of Kaiji last night. So yeah.
What the hell was that woman screenshot you sent? What the hell was it?
It's supposed to be one of the characters' daughter, but you never actually see her in the series. I'm starting to suspect that she's like supposed to be because the thing about Kaiji is it uses a lot of symbolism, even if a lot of it's sort of blatant. So I'm kind of suspecting she's supposed to symbolize like how Kaiji's relationship with Lady Luck is supposed to be like or something. But Jesus, her face.
What the hell?
It's like this huge, creepy smile.
Oh,
To be
God.
fair, I think that's like the only female character I've actually seen it done in Kaiji's art style. So
I think I had to ad block the image so I would quit seeing it.
I mean, to be fair, the Kaiji's art style is pretty goofy, but that was just, and that's the season 2 closing. I mean, yeah. But anyways, I guess, and that's pretty much it for me on what I've been doing this week. So then moving on, let's talk about simulcasts. So let's see. Let's first start off with Log Horizon Season 2. So, what were your thoughts on this, on the first half of the Season 2 so far?
Love it.
Yeah.
It had its ups and downs, but I think it ended really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll agree with
it's not
I'll
ended,
agree.
but yeah.
I'll generally agree with Stranger, especially with especially the Akatsuki arc, which was really hit and miss. So, but otherwise, all around,
Yeah,
it was strong. And yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It did have its misses, but altogether, it's strong. It was a pretty strong season, and hey, it's more Log Horizon, so it's It did, for what it was, it did really good.
I
I
think I was
enjoyed
running
the
500 episodes with database all the time.
I enjoyed the Akatsuki arc, but I did feel like it did drag on a little bit.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have any problems with it while I was watching it, other than that I was like, okay, let's go, moving along. But
Yeah. But yeah, let's see.
Oh, Jay, did you notice the newest episode's thumbnail and title on Crunchyroll?
I sent a screen cap to him,
Was it like a trap or
A
something?
sweet trap.
A sweet trap. Yeah, I saw that.
and then
What an
there's just a picture of
appropriate,
Tetra.
Yeah.
what an appropriate name.
When I saw that, I screen capped it and sent it to JJ.
Yeah. And this week's episode, it was like Randall House Code and I forgot what his name was. Were like, does he not? Has he still not figured out that she's a guy? And then they're debating about should we call her Miss or
No, sis or
Mrs.
bro.
Yeah, he was saying sister bro, and Randall House Code was like Miss or Mister. And then Tetra comes out and she's like smiling, but you see the black flames and you see her pose, and then the hearts and she's mad, but you can't tell. But
See,
yeah,
the thing about Tetra is I feel like I always have to switch pronouns.
yeah. And then she's like, just call me Tetra. Yeah, that's. Yeah, that was that was
Pretty freaking hilarious.
yeah, that was a nice bit of trolling right there, but though you kind of sort of figured it out after a while.
I can't decide if I'm more like Natsugu or Tetra now.
Oh, and remember that whole pervert power trio thing at the beginning with him and the
Reagan and
sage.
yeah, Reagan.
Yeah, Reagan.
Stranger, I'm surprised you don't automatically default to Tetra because of the pink hair.
I'm pretty sure I don't actually have pink hair. Like, last time I checked, it was like this brown color, I guess. No.
Four. We're going for a record here.
Let me just turn up my phone real quick.
Nobody calls me, so I don't have to worry.
Yeah, same here.
I got my phone on silent.
Silent but deadly?
No, just silent.
Of
my
course,
phone
you're
was- my-
implying that you actually have people calling you.
If my phone was deadly, I probably wouldn't be here right now.
Alright, just keep on talking.
You would just hear. Adam cannot come to the podcast right now. No, this is his phone. There is nobody here.
Where are you, spy from Team Fortress 2?
No, I work at the mushroom factory.
Okay, but let's see. What else about Log Horizon Season 2? Oh, the raid. That I think they did a pretty solid job on how they handled the raid part of the season. Like you actually, like even if you haven't actually been a part of a raid before, you felt like the series actually knew what it was talking about.
Yeah, it's definitely real good with stuff about that.
Yeah.
I think that's its main strength, is it actually uses its game setting. Like, it's not just a kind of backdrop, it actually uses it actively.
Yeah, it actually knows what it's talking about.
That was there was a
Unlike
really
other
cool
series.
Yeah.
there was a really cool moment earlier in the season where the William Massachusetts, still best name ever, where he has this whole moment of like he has this like internal moment of like an epiphany of like I'm not some like legendary hero. I'm a guy playing a video game right now.
Are you talking about
No,
the
I'm a
speech
gamer.
or the part before it?
It was I think it was before it.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about now.
Yeah, where it's like he just kind of had this moment there was like a moment of realization of like this is a gamer. This is someone like
Yeah.
me. you know?
Yeah.
And I just thought that was really cool and
Yeah,
how
I
they
mean
sort of stuck to that.
yeah, the speech was kind of cheesy for him, but that's part of why I really liked it, because it actually felt like well, it actually sounded like he's a gamer, and that's what he's talking about right there.
Leroy Jenkins!
That was basically Demikas's whole gag during it. Just keep running in and trying to mess up stuff.
Yeah, that part where he somehow managed to find the door to the treasury room. That part still bothers me about the season, though.
It
Oh,
was
how it just
still
sort of
cool
just
though, because say
happens.
my name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very
Also,
least, if it makes up for anything, he wants to be getting chased around by the demon. Those like demon things
yeah.
anyway. So. It's like
And
we're gonna overlook our little plot goof and just have him being chased around as like comeuppance. It's like how dare you know? How dare you know where the door is without us really knowing or
yeah.
explaining it whatsoever?
Yeah. And then and then how Shiro sort of monologues as he's like riding out on the Griffin, like where how he's or not monologues, just goes over that moment. It's like, is Demikes' real name supposed to be like Shiro or something?
Mr.
That's what
Democracy?
What?
that's what I thought was trying to do, like imply it's like Shiro said he didn't actually say Demikas's name, and I sort of thought it was implying that Demikas's real name was supposed to be like Shiroe or something.
Oh, I thought you read into that way more than I did.
Yeah, I have
I
no idea where that came
I,
from.
I just thought it
Nah,
was sort of a Shirley was unwilling to acknowledge Demikos
Hmm.
until that moment.
Yeah, it could be. It's probably that. I'm just overthinking it.
Yeah, the only thing, like you were saying, the only thing they agreed on was that they weren't going to agree on anything.
Pretty much.
Ragi. I bit my tongue.
Pretty much the,
Yeah.
I flubbed.
But yeah, let's see. It's, there's, uh, and of course there's all that stuff that with like the flavored text sort of becoming. Oh, side note for this week's episode, the whole part where every time they eat an apple they say something about what they love. And then Randall House Code, when he eats the apple, he's like, "I love all you guys." And it just made me remember the part in season one where she's forgot her name, but he's like a golden retriever, and he seemed very dog. I love you all sort of personality in that to me.
I want to know what he was doing in the alley.
I'm sure we'll see more of that in the next couple of episodes, or eventually, anyways.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the next couple of episodes, because this got that whole Chinese server thing going on now.
Yeah,
That's pretty interesting.
yeah,
And then she like, freaking bought Japan.
yeah,
He just bought Japan. I'm like, okay, Japan is now
yeah,
mine. Oh my god.
He's
yeah,
like,
and
Japan is mine, and now it is everyone's.
Turning Japan to the people.
yeah, and I, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle the Chinese server next episode. Because before, like so far, we've only been seeing the Japan server, but it established that there are like 300. What was it, like 300 million or so users were logged in or something
I thought
when,
it was a really low number.
or maybe it was really low number, but only
I thought it was
like
like
maybe it was in the thousands, but I think they mentioned that there were more people stuck globally than there was in the Japan server, so
that's just one thing about Log Horizon.
yeah.
I don't know if it's a translation thing, but I remember they said something about like 300,000 players. I'm like, well, that's a really small number of people who will be
Yeah.
playing an extremely popular MMO and populating the world.
And
It,
during a new expansion at that.
yeah. So like, I don't know if that's just like a flub in the translation.
Hmm.
maybe it's
Sounds reasonable
not,
to me.
but I just feel like I'd expect there to be a lot more people involved.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like, it's
Like,
basically supposed to, like, Elder Tell, from what I can tell, is basically supposed to be like the equivalent of like World of Warcraft or something. And World of Warcraft, on average, has like what 6 million average sub players daily or something.
something
So
like that.
yeah, so it would at least be in the millions, and
Yeah.
especially when you've got a day one launch of a new expansion. So it'd definitely be higher than that, than in the thousands.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That was just one thing that kind of irked me a little bit.
yeah,
Like, why is there so few people? And they show so many adventures. Like, there's a bunch of adventures in this show.
yeah,
But like, are they the only ones populated in the world or something? Like, I don't know. I
yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah, from like I remember hearing that there were more people in the globally since you're combining all the other servers.
Of course.
But
Oh, so it might have just been the 300,000 in
yeah,
Japan, in the Japanese server.
it might.
That would make a bit more sense.
Yeah, because I thought it was in the millions in the uh, when they mentioned the global amount of players in the other servers.
I might have misread something. I don't know.
Or it could just have been a translation thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but getting back to the flavor text stuff, that was actually a pretty interesting bit of world building they added to the setting, like with how Krusty basically gets absorbed into that scythe, and as well as that one chick's arm, which I think they showed in the latest episode at the end, her getting like a robot arm or something. But yeah, that was a nice bit of characterization or not world building they did in this season. But yeah, anything else about Log Horizon?
I think we should move on,
Yeah,
just because of time. Unless you
yeah.
want to do another 2-hour podcast. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Rage of Bahamut Genesis, and
Best anime of the season.
yeah, I honestly don't think anyone was really expecting a Rage of Bahamut to be anything more than just okay, let alone as amazing as it was. Like you, like literally, there is almost no source material to work off, or not like even barest bones of lore to actually use from the game itself.
Hmm.
So Mappa basically made an original anime off of the series and actually did establish stuff like lore and setting and
Yeah.
stuff.
And it's implied there's gonna be more than just what they
Yeah,
offered.
Yeah, I
yeah,
So,
was about
they
to mention that.
which
they
which
wrapped it up
like when I
with
when I was
just
like
yeah,
they wrap it up leaving it open, and then they pretty much confirm like post
yeah,
credits that
I'll be back
like we'll be back pretty much.
pretty
So
much.
I was just really happy after watching the finale.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like you still have all the characters. Wait, did they ever actually show what happened to Rita after at the end? Because I'm
Not
no,
really. I'm
no,
certain they'd probably elaborate what exactly happens to her.
yeah,
Whenever they continue the series. But I guess that is one of the disappointing things about the finale. Just shows them going off, and Rita's still back with
Riding off into the sunset,
or falling
yeah.
falling with style.
on a griffin. Or what was it, like bird? What was it? A lion
Was it?
bird?
It was a duck. Oh, with Rita. Was Rita? I don't know what that thing was.
But yeah, yeah, the Favreau and Kaiser it was a duck, or Favreau it was a duck. Kaiser sort of fell, if I remember right. But
Uh,
yeah, it's like honestly, I'm still debating on. For me personally, I'm actually sort of still debating on it or Nozaki-kun for my anime of the year. But damn, I love the hell out of that series of it. And yeah, it's just and that last episode they really did wrap it up rather well without
I like.
it feeling too rushed.
It's like most of the time with a lot of shows, I'm sometimes never really happy with endings. It's probably one of the few times I was actually perfectly okay with how a show ended.
Yeah. Like it really
Like
didn't leave.
I tend to find
Yeah.
issue, but I can't really think of anything
Yeah.
I'm upset about. I mean, I'm a
Yeah.
little bummed out that Amida is what happens to her, but
Yeah. Yeah, but
otherwise I was fine with it.
yeah, it's a bummer. Yeah, bummer. But they did really leave it up for more continuation with like how with how Favreau's like you can't actually kill Bahamut.
Hmm.
He'll always be there. So you always have the ever looming fear of doom
Favreau with
referencing.
his epic new goatee.
No, he's uh afro malted ginger or ginger afro malted Jack Sparrow with a goatee. I hope they keep the goatee in whenever they continue it. And
Yeah,
he'll
that'd be
have a
cool.
robot leg. And Kaiser has the robot arm. That part where Favreau and Kaiser are fighting, and they still that one evil dude thinks
Hmm.
Favreau is still under his control, and then when
Yeah,
Favreau chops off Kaiser's arm, and it's like, oh no, and then you see him basically using it against the evil guy, and that's I
that
don't
was a
know.
pretty badass moment. I
Yeah,
thought it was a badass moment.
yeah, it was pretty badass and pretty much in line with their characters. I thought it's like he's more than willing to do that. Chop off his friend's arm.
Yeah. And actually, the whole reveal of who exactly LaValle was the whole time,
Yeah,
I probably should have expected that, but I actually thought it was still well done.
yeah. It was definitely well done, even if it was sort of expected. It they still established it really well.
Hmm.
Wait, you expected that he was Gil de Reis or whatever?
No, no, I'm just saying
We
like
should have expected it. It's just they did it well enough that
Yeah. Or he's a historical figure. So
I did
actually,
not know
no,
that.
yeah, he was a. And
With
actually, if you
Fate
look,
Zero?
well, what's interesting is if you look him up on the internets, his character design in Bahamut is actually a lot closer to the historical paintings of him,
Hmm.
um,
hmm,
whereas
interesting.
Castor in Fate Zero is supposedly the same person. They just went with whatever creative direction they wanted for his design in that. But they actually kind of, I feel like if I knew what he looked like, I there's a chance you could have recognized him,
Hmm.
which is actually like good on Mappa, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
I actually think, in general, the character designs and art style in general in Rage of Bahamut, Mappa did a fantastic job. Like, yeah, I mean, you have goofy stuff like, uh, what's this? But, like, uh, Favreau's, hairdo and general face.
I
And
thought,
Kaiser, but altogether, the art style for the characters really was pretty good.
I didn't have any really I mean, Favre does look kind of funny, but I feel like they were going for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Um,
completely fine with how he looks. I
my
actually kind of liked it. So
Yeah, I thought it was a
it
I thought it was a
didn't look
nice
like,
deviation from
yeah,
the
it didn't
usual
look like they
style.
were going for an over beautified sort of protagonist. Like, he's not that good looking, but
Slender Bishonen.
yes, he's not a slender Bishonen.
No, I liked how they deviated from the normal protagonist kind of character
Yeah,
design.
it's like he's
Um,
not that good looking, and he's pretty much a rogue. He is pretty much Jack Sparrow, sort of. In like he's willing to sell you out, and he's not really going to go for revenge. He's going to do do stuff for himself.
he does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And but the only like I thought overall the animation was really good in that show, as
Yeah,
expected
yeah,
from Mappa, but I did feel like some of the CGI they used felt a bit out of place at
yes.
times.
That's at times it did, and at other times it really hit the nail on the head. But it was pretty inconsistent on that department.
Yeah, I don't really know what they were doing with that, but I like it was very like there was certain points where I like didn't notice that it was CGI until I went back and watched it again, and then there were other points where I was like, oh, that looks like that sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's kind of that's kind of my complaint of Garo as well, Mappa's other series this year. It's the CGI can be pretty inconsistent, but yeah. And let's see. Anything else about Rage of Bahamut?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Let's see. Moving on then. Gugure Kokkuri-san. So
That was a dark horse.
that was a
Yeah.
dark horse.
I was not expecting to enjoy that show as much as I did. And
Yeah.
I think it was far from like my favorite this season, but I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I think for me it's my favorite comedy of this season. I think.
I'll agree with
What
JJ.
other comedies were there?
Let's see. There was Denki-Gai,
That's
Amagi.
really to me, yeah. And Amagi Brilliant Park, but that was more like a
Yeah.
combination of like
Yeah.
drama and comedy.
Let's see.
There was
There was
Denki-Gai and
there was a
Roller Coaster.
merman one, but no one really gave a shit about that
Yeah.
after the first week. So,
Oh my god.
oh, there was also I don't understand what my husband is saying.
Yeah, though that sort of also switches out between comedy and drama.
I don't remember it being comedic at all for like the last half.
Pretty much. Uh, I suppose Inou-Battle in some ways, but it was also another one of those comedy dramas.
That was very slice of life.
Yeah.
Like it had its funny moments, but I don't think that was like the intention. Well, I mean, it was definitely
Yeah,
intended for those moments to be funny, but I don't think it was intended to be a comedy show.
Yeah. So I think it's really Gugure Kokkuri-san and Denki-Kai are the only ones I can think of for comedies this season.
I felt like they were on par with each other.
Yeah.
And, like,
They both had they both had their moments and they both had their messed up moments.
yeah.
well, I think I sort of think that Guguri Kokkuri-san was more consistent throughout, though, more consistently good in my opinion.
And more consistent in how messed up some of the stuff could be.
Yeah, that's actually what
That
I
show-
love. I love it. That's what I love about the show. Like, you wouldn't get that from the cute exterior that it has, but it has. You have multiple times characters, including the 5-year-old main girl, threatening to kill themselves at some point.
Like, I think
And
that's
even more
the darkest
amusing
show
is
I've
like,
ever found funny.
yeah. Even more amusing is that they just have like that same noose just lying around somewhere.
Like that was by far the darkest show that has ever made me smile.
Yeah. That's a perfect description for it. It's like you've got messed up stuff like a stalker dog thing that switches its gender, like saying it loves to bathe in
I didn't really like Unigami.
Yeah.
That was the one.
Well, here's the thing,
character-
I felt bad for him though in the
wasn't
last
into it.
episode when he was by himself. He just had like the
Yeah,
twirler
but
thing and he had the little hat on. He's like, "Where is everybody?"
I
Because I mean, he's like, yeah, I'll agree with you. He's the biggest scumbag in the show.
Pretty much.
But that's the thing.
and he's competing with the
Especially the
Tanuki
episode,
guy.
yeah, especially within the episode before last one is like, nothing feels better than my darling's bathwater. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's the Inugami sections made me like genuinely uncomfortable.
I sort of think that's what he was meant for, especially in like that the second episode or third episode he came in. I think it was second.
Yeah, I
That
think it
was
was it was either second or third. Yeah.
Like I didn't find very many
From this-
Inugami sections funny. That was I feel like that was a bit of a drawback for the show. Just for me, it's just because like I didn't find those jokes just didn't the Inugami jokes just didn't gel with my sense of humor.
Yeah, they
So-
definitely were on the more messed up side compared
And-
to yeah.
I know there are definitely people that like that appeals to. I'm just not one of them.
Yeah.
So
As a character, he kind of is like he's a creeper basically, and it's some of the stuff he does is just no.
yeah,
Yeah, but I also thought he added some moments as well where it's where some funny moments. I mean, but
Oh, definitely. There were
Like
definitely
jumping
funny
off,
moments
like
that
jumping off
involved
the
him.
moon, jumping off the moon.
That was the best Inugami moment
It's
by
like,
far.
yeah, never mind me. I'm just jumping off and burning into the atmosphere, or burning up through the atmosphere.
That was a nice touch that they actually had that. It was one of those sections where they could have just had him turn into like a little star off in the distance and like twinkle, you know. But they actually they made a joke out of it, and I really liked that. I'll give the writers props for that, especially with Inugami is pulling a joke out of that when they could have just done a cliche thing.
yeah, and of course how they changed up the characters some. Like I liked how the Tanuki guy, like after he has his episode where he gets a scar over his eye trying to protect
Kohina.
Kohina, and it's like after that the opening always has him with a scar over his eye. That's something I like. They always adjusted the opening so much.
I like the one. I was kind of disappointed that they didn't put in female Kokkuri-san
Yeah.
in the
Or-
opening during
Or
that
in the
part.
episode where female Inugami is heavily
Starting.
present, they don't really put her into the main section of the opening. She's just in the background or somewhere.
I'm sure there was a reason for that, like, oh, maybe the voice actors didn't want to sing the song or something.
Maybe. Or it would have cost more to have
Yeah.
her to do a redub of the song.
And reanimate all that. I mean, like, adding in a scar is not too
Yeah.
much on the
And
budget.
they always have a screenshot at the end, but that's pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, and let's see. And of course all the stuff they do with Kokkuri-san, where that one arc where he's turned into a girl, who's voiced by I think the same say who does Muffle or not Muffle, the sheep
Tyranny.
guy. No, not
No,
Tyranny.
no, no, the other one.
Oh.
The other one. Macaron.
Macaron, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just weird to see. But yeah, and let's see. And all the humor with Kohina's where like I'm a doll and I don't have emotions and stuff, and it's just
You know something that I was hoping for that didn't happen was that I was hoping that over the course of the series Kohina would be less doll-like, like have some character development there, because
yeah, I don't think they were really going to go for that. Honestly, it didn't really seem like something that would go with the series' tone.
no, but I wanted to see it happen because I feel that it could have opened up new opportunities for different types of jokes.
Yeah.
But cause it was just because I noticed sort of like a sort of steady like increase in the amount of time that human Kohina was present. Although in the episodes for a while towards the beginning. Like there was a point where it was 20 seconds of like normal not doll character design Kohina, you know, but then they just dropped off from there.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the series has really been the series has what stranger? Anyways, but yeah, the series is it's really been a really good comedy for this season, and I think it's up there with from last season Sabagabu Survival Game Club for most funny yet messed up comedy of the year.
That show was awesome.
Yeah.
And also, am I the only one who thought that Kokkuri-san left it open for another season, possibly?
I can't remember, but probably. I mean, I don't think they really ended it. Like, they didn't have any solid, yeah, this is the end sort of ending. It's just.
That's what I'm saying. Cause it's like, and so when New Year begins, or something like that, and that's to me, it sort of feels like
it could be just like another read the original content thing as well. So you never know. Maybe they're just leaving it up for whenever the manga finishes or something.
They also like I feel like maybe they like I didn't feel like it was implied that there was going to be another season.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I also didn't feel like it was implied that there wasn't going to be another season. Like they didn't close it off.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like it's open to like whenever they feel like doing it, if they ever feel like doing it, but there's no obligation to.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like with Bahamut, they say I'll be back. I'm expecting a second season now.
Pretty much. I mean, they don't
Yeah.
act. It's not like, say, Knights of Sidonia or Log Horizon, where they actually announced at the very end that yes, there is going to be a new season. But
Mhm.
it is at the same time, it still does imply that they'll be working on more content.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm sure there will be like 5-minute specials and stuff.
yeah. I remember that one artwork a couple of weeks back, or maybe not. Was it the episode before last or whatever, where it's like kid versions of Favreau and
Mhm.
Kaiser and Amira, and Alex was like, I would. What was it like? You wouldn't mind
I would
slice of
totally
life.
watch a fantasy slice of life comedy based on Rage of Bahamut, just with those character designs the way they are in that art style.
Just like a little chibi.
Yeah, it'd be like the most pleasant, awesome thing.
I think they did something like that with a Kamega Kill. I never watched it though.
Which is weird considering the tone of that series.
Yeah,
Like,
they had a Kamega Kill Theater, which was like
I
I think
remember,
they did like a little chibi.
yeah, I remember seeing that on Kiss Anime, and I know how dark that series can get, even though I never watched it, but my brother reads it, so as that sort of struck me as a little weird to the tone, personally.
But anyways, anything else about Gugure Kokkuri-san?
I think we should talk about Amagi.
Okay, Amagi
And
Brilliant
then,
Park.
and then after that, Grisaia, so we can get Stranger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it Magic Hour time?
It's magic arrow time.
it's never ending Magic Hour.
It's not a fairy
Look at the
tale.
sky, guys. Yep. Wait, I'll put it in the clap. Hold on.
But anyways, honestly, Amagi really does. It feels like KyoAnime is finally back on track with their usual quality after like Chun Yibo, Chun to Ren,
No,
Chunibyo,
no.
and beyond the boundary before that.
Okay, I don't think Beyond the Boundary was terrible,
It was
but
yeah, it was
it was meh,
yeah.
but I don't think it was bad.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't KyoAnime's usual quality, honestly.
No.
And Shuni Run was like one of the worst things in the history of ever. I hate it so much.
But yeah, Monkey, they're really back on track with what I expect from KyoAnime and as far as quality is concerned. Like it's just a really fun series, and they really did manage to mix in a nice bit of drama to even it out, both the comedy and drama
You
aspects.
know,
Yeah, I'm not so sure they're back on track. I mean, have you seen the new series they announced?
Oh
I was
yeah,
about to mention
I
that,
heard of it, but I
but
did not actually watch the trailer.
what is
Sounds
it?
like K-On! That takes place in the actual band room.
It's like K-On! With brass instruments,
Yeah.
except supposedly this time they're actually going to focus on the music.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
Oh,
that doesn't
which would be
sound
nice.
too good.
I really liked the music that they used in the trailer, so if there's a lot of that, I'll probably watch the show just for the music.
And to be honest, what I watched of K-On! I actually did like the music in it. It just was sort of a Moe blob sort of thing, though. Just the show itself, it's just going for over. It's basically
Kind of
nothing.
stuff Radar watches.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's basically just fluff, a slice of life full of fluff, basically. But yeah,
But
go.
Amagi was good.
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot of great characters. The animation
Oh
was really
yeah,
good.
and as far as characters, those mascots were just so.
The mascots have some of the best reaction pics come out of them.
Yes, they.
I still love that one picture when Terami gets punched.
Yeah.
I think I get a lot of.
It just sort of comes out of nowhere. He's like, "Bleh."
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I think I get a lot of use out of the simply put, we need to go looter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna say, I was almost gonna say maybe we should use that as the picture for the GIO post, just as like a year-end thing.
10% more
Just-
Harvey.
yeah.
I like the.
JJ,
Aren't you guys from the
JJ,
realm of
Yeah,
magic?
I'm probably going to edit a picture of that we need.
I'll say do the whole looter picture, JJ, and put Divergence cast at the top.
I think I'll do that after the end of this. So maybe just put instead of using.
As a matter of fact, we should probably do more customizable, or more like custom pictures.
Yeah, I mean,
the thing is, I'm too lazy to do it in the first place. So.
Yeah, I kind of am as well. I still have that logo we have right now for our show as a temporary logo, and I haven't gone around seeing if anyone can actually make us an official one.
Wait, so is that logo macaron?
What?
Like for the Divergence? I'm just thinking about on Twitter. You're talking about on the YouTube thumbnail?
No, the Twitter one. No, the Twitter one is like
Isn't that Steins Gate?
Yeah, that's the alpaca man.
Oh, I thought it was just a funny macaron.
No, it's alpaca man.
Wait, where did you get that from?
And you've watched Steins Gate. How don't you know that's Steins Gate?
Your avatar on Skype right now is Okabe. Come
okay,
on, man.
Alpaca Man was like in there for 4 seconds.
Yeah, but I mean the art style. You should be able to recognize it.
It's a tiny little Twitter.
Okay, either way, we're getting off track here. So.
I'm talking about the logo on the YouTube video.
Well, I know that's Steins Gate.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyways,
It's just,
we should get back to Amagi. So,
You should make it macaron.
I'm going to do that now.
No. I changed my vote to Tirame.
Fine. But anyways,
But
back
yeah,
to.
how about that show? Hey, that show we were talking about.
How about that Roller Coaster Tycoon the anime?
Oh yeah, how did I know they were gonna do a commercial for this episode? Like I could sense that, like before it was even aired. Like this is gonna be a commercial for the theme park.
Oh, as far as the episode itself, that part at the end where, like, they finally have after they've asked everyone what their ideas and they had everything together, and when the Triceratops guy finally basically just merges everything together after Latifah makes her suggestion, and then Sento's reaction where she's like crying because it's so beautiful.
This is so beautiful.
And then Kadia's like, "What the fuck?"
So that
He is
last
every
episode was really weird in the sense that it felt like the series ended in episode 12 was the finale, and that episode 13 was just an OVA. They came out it came out a week later.
To me, it sort of felt like you know how in The Devil is a Part-Timer, the last episode is sort of an epilogue, sort of, or not exactly epilogue. It's just showing them doing something like just sort of an extra episode. It sort of felt like that to me for Amagi.
Please continue. The Devil is a Part-Timer. If anybody who's involved in making it is listening, make more of that show.
Low chance there, man. But oh man,
because you guys suck at marketing.
That is true. We do.
Hey, we're just three guys off on our own corner in the internet. But
this is a weird corner of the internet.
Every corner of the internet is weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one part that I got a kick out of in the episode is this skydiving ironing.
Yeah, that
Oh my god,
that was just absurd.
Oh, come on. Moffle fighting bad guys in the warehouse. That was awesome.
I like how they got the freaking...
I love how they're always, like, every time they have Moffle, it's in an action, and it just, action sort of sequence, and it just makes me think of Bone-Takun again from Full Metal Panic.
And you guys did notice that every time they, like, shot somebody, it was the crocodile mascot, right? Or, like,
yeah.
Mascot.
Now here's how you do marketing. Amagi Brilliant Park should have just... Like, if I were to make a commercial, they should have had that whole little section with Moffle-san, and just then at the end been like, play Airsoft at Amagi Brilliant Park. And this is what, that would have been a good ad.
That's what smart people would have done, but apparently no one is.
They should have just taken that section and been like, Amagi Brilliant Park, you can do this here.
And when, in that swimsuit section, or not swimsuit section, where Tirame gives the Triceratops guy his secret collection.
His terabytes of it.
His terabytes of it, basically perverted snapshots of the
Creep shots.
Creep shots, yeah. and then he's like doing those sound bites of like just
Oh my god.
and
The
then
one part when he did with the security guards, it's like,
Yeah, the freaking luchadors.
like the final thing that they made, they had to show the old guy like 3 times.
yeah.
It's like, oh.
And I,
He was all skinny and his ribs were sticking out and everything.
I think that might have been a character from Full Metal Panic Fumofu actually, because I remember there being an old guy and they had like a like he was just they sort of had him like almost naked or something and Fumofu and I
What
thought
the
that
hell are
was
you
supposed
watching, man?
You should watch Fumofu, dude. It's hilarious.
Yes, I should.
But yeah, and see, but like how the one wind chick, I can't remember her name, but it's like we need man flesh or something.
No, wasn't that the
Oh,
Earth
man.
Girl?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Earth Girl.
The one that I actually can't remember her name.
Oh, he's super into
She was the one who
yaoi.
was like least utilized, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I like when I saw that little section, I was like, oh, that's cute. She's getting so excited, and I started paying attention to what she was saying, and I was like,
much. And I'm completely okay with that. Yeah. And then how, like, when Shinto asks him about the female section, it's like, yes, I hired professional models and stuff, and it's like, both Shinto and the other chicks are like commenting on how I don't like something's familiar about that or something, but they
I
can't.
also, I also found it funny how later in the episode, Sento's like, we need more, good-looking men. And then the Rhino's like, I know who you have, I know who you're talking about. She just pretty much tries to shoot him if he doesn't shoot up. And also, one part I found funny
wink, wink,
in that
nudge, nudge.
one
Kanye.
part I also found funny in that it was sort of adorable was the dragon having like a tea. What was it? Tea time.
Yeah, it
Tea
was
ceremony.
like tea ceremony, basically.
He's just like this huge ass thing just sitting there.
He was in the tea club in high school.
Held it on the tip of one of his claws.
It's just that little thing of tea for this big old dragon.
They should have given him a bigger mug. That's discrimination. You need to have a proper tea to body size ratio.
Yeah. But
Well, the thing
yeah.
is, when he had one of those disguises on, possibly if it was in the real world.
Oh yeah, maybe he had a magic medallion thing.
But yeah.
Yeah, overall, though, I'd say that was a fun episode, even if it did feel very much more like an OVA.
Pretty much, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
Yeah. The way the thing is, I would say the way Amagi finished, like just overall, like what 3 or 4 strong episodes, and like 3 or 4. The finished way it did, actually, it might be one of my favorite shows from the fall season.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely up there for me.
Yeah, for me personally, I think it's on as far as Kyo anime is concerned, it's like my 3rd favorite series right now, behind Fumofu and Clannad After Story. But as far as year, I think it's either 3rd or 4th for me for the season.
I'd probably
What
put it
rank higher
third.
than Haruhi for you?
No, I think I actually have Haruhi lower than that, like just one lower for like the Endless 8.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we established earlier that Adam's responsible for the Endless 8.
It's all my fault, guys. I'm sorry.
Damn you, Adam! Damn you!
I thought it'd be fun.
You thought
I was
torture would be
going
fun?
I was trying to go for like a Higurashi without all the death.
Yanku Denwa.
And then it was a flop. I failed. Not everybody can do everything perfect.
But let's see. But otherwise, yeah, Amagi Brilliant Park was really, really good, and it's definitely recommend checking it out to people. But
Oh, definitely. I think it's tied for my second favorite series to
yeah,
fall.
for now, you can talk about Grisaia.
That show. I don't care what y'all say about your ginger afros and everything else.
No, like I said, it's a good show. Like say there wasn't a bad episode of Grisaia. It's just to me, pacing it needed more time. It's the
Yeah, it
problem.
definitely needed more
It
time.
should have been 2 core.
And here's the thing, like, had it
Hey,
taken
didn't like they announce offshoot series?
Labyrinth and Eden of Grisaia.
Yeah, I thought so. Or
Yeah,
those
there's
just like
One of them is what, Labyrinth coming in the spring?
Yes.
Both of them are coming in spring. Like, I
Oh,
think
really?
the next season's going to be 2 core and covering both visual novel sequels. Yeah, because Grisaia is a trilogy of visual novels.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think World Ending Economica is kind of the same. It's trilogy split into 3 different parts.
So yeah, I think starting in spring, it's supposed to be both sequels airing in consecutive order, because that's the way it was announced.
Well, like I was saying, just say, if it just had if it was full core and just sort of took its time with it, I think I would like it a lot more. But as it is now, I can't say I like it as much as you did.
I can't say I like it as much as Stranger did either. I thought it was very good.
I don't think very many people can say they liked it as much as I did.
No,
Because whereas you're putting like in like one of your like 10 favorite shows, I'm like I can't do that. I can't even put it in my 25.
So for me, going into it, when I first watched like the very first episode, I was going in expecting something kind of like Sidetrack Kingdomo.
Oh wow.
Why?
And just because based on the screenshots I'd seen. Based on the screenshots I've seen that were taken out of context, and it looked like I was like, oh, this is something kind of like Sidetrack Kingdomo. I'll check it out. Then after the first episode, I was expecting something kind of like Akuma no Riddle, but way better. And like that's kind of what I had been hoping for, and that's not how it played out at all. I still enjoyed the show, but like I had different expectations. And that's like my own fault for having like I had different expectations of it than what it went for. But
Yeah, I just went into it for dark backstories, and I got that.
yeah, you
That
got what you
entire
wanted.
last
I was
arc,
hoping for something else.
Oh man, I was gonna say, in this episode and the one other episode with the maid chick, that whole like fucking piss thing, which is weird. Oh, it was like it was so badly fetish pandering.
Yeah.
Because
It was
I chose to
because they
ignore
showed
that.
the one, in the last episode, she was knocked out because she got knocked down in the bathroom, and she's like they just show her pissing herself. I'm like, oh my god.
the fan service in Grisaia was a bit much for me, but it was an interesting enough show that it didn't like generally something with that levels of fan service I just won't watch because I think oh, that time was me.
Damn it, Adam!
Yay.
This is
Finally.
the episode of the phone calls.
Phone cast.
So, what was I saying? Oh, well,
Should have answered your phone like the mad scientist Hoyin Kyoma.
It's
but
me.
Generally,
They're on to us.
Generally, that much fan service would completely turn me away from a show.
See
But
if I was
Grisaia
a
was-
vampire. No.
Yeah, I'm staying like 50 meters away from that.
Stay
at all
away from
times.
that show. Also, stay as far away as you can from if you haven't watched it, 'cause I can't remember if we talked about it before. What's it called? The one demon show that I watched. I absolutely
Demon
fucking hated.
King.
Yeah,
Demon King. Yeah, Demon King Daimao. Stay as
Although,
far
according
away.
to SK, like the second half is about them just killing God and no fan service at all or something.
Like, like, generally, like, over the top fan service like that would turn me away from a show very quickly. But Grisaia was interesting enough that I kept watching, and I think that's like props to the show for that.
Yeah, like I have
I
not
was
seen
saying, it
anything
generally
else.
I'll say that that's the thing. The strength of Grisaia was one, it had a fucking awesome main character, and it generally, even despite the fan service, the supporting cast is almost as good. So it's just that it
all the
needed more
characters
time
were
to.
awesome.
Yeah, it just needed more time, I guess, to develop
Yeah,
those like arcs. Personally, for me, like the one girl only got like one episode.
That was like
And
3 girls that only got one episode.
Yeah, and that's good, But I'm talking about who's the chick that they show her like first in the opening credits.
Yeah, she only got one.
Yeah, she got like one episode. And I was like,
girl.
Yeah, and like they make her the most important one in like the credits, but she only got, and despite how good of an episode it was, she only got the one episode. It was like completely like it was like zoomed right through.
So so
Yeah.
so my other problem with Grisaia, and then pretty much everything else is good, is like I have a couple problems. I have like three, which is the pacing. No, there's two. The pacing and the fan service, really. Where like with the pacing, I feel like it should have been a two-core show with like 4 episodes devoted to each girl.
That's actually
And
I completely agree, man.
actually, I'll count three problems, because my other problem is I felt like after each girl's arc was done, they were just kind of forgotten. Like it was just sort of on to the next.
That's what happens with a lot of hero animes like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
that's actually my brother made a good point about the last episode, how they eventually talk about how they killed off the one girl, like how they fake killed the one girl.
yeah.
Like, were they all in on that? Because it pretty much like implies, like, I guess maybe they found out about it in the last episode.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't know what
Uh,
happened. It's just like I felt like each arc felt too separate.
uh,
Like they were all good, but I would have liked some connection between them. And yet, Stranger's right. A lot of VN adaptations suffer from that same problem.
and I love
Um,
them regardless. But yeah, my only problem was the pacing, but from what I saw in there, it was still enough to where I ended up giving it a 9.25 out of 10. Like, especially that last arc with, what's her name?
well, we know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That probably was like throughout. That was strong,
that's
constant.
how all the arcs should have been,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Like I think all of them should have been that good, like 4 episodes long, like really devoted. Like
Um,
if I felt each arc got its own like proper time, I don't think it would have bothered me as much if they were sort of left behind afterwards.
Yeah.
But I felt like certain parts were just way rushed. I enjoyed the hell out of the show, and I think I gave it an 8, but I'm a little bit harsher with my scores than Stranger is.
I mean, you also
So
said your average is lower than mine.
yeah, my average is a 5 and yours is a 7.
Yeah, you scoring that
So
5 out of 10 system. I score like school system.
yeah, so so like thinking in that terms, I scored it actually like about the same if we account for that.
Yeah, I think a
So
9.25 for me would be a mid to high 8 for you.
yeah,
I'd probably put around the same area as Adam, an 8.5 maybe.
I also like I actually do like a little score calculation. I always round down 0.5s. So like if something's at 8.5, I list it as an 8. So
Yeah, I know I'm super excited. I know I'm super excited to play the VN now.
I'm still really excited for the next parts that are coming in spring. Spring is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my
yes,
god.
There's like,
yes.
well, I know it's funny. We're probably gonna find a couple shows in the winter, but I can't think of jack shit I want to watch.
Yeah, it's
Besides
winter.
continuing Log
Yeah,
Horizon and
winter is
besides
JoJo?
continuing
continue.
Log Horizon and Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah,
But
there's
it's
Winter
just the
is gonna be
spring.
my
You look,
yeah,
rewatch
you look at,
season.
you hear
winter's
everything
like
about the spring coming. It's like, with the
yeah.
exception of Nisekoi.
No, I'm excited
This
for
is
you.
the best part.
Dude. I'm just filling my quota here of Nisekoi.
Yeah,
There's like so much interesting
yeah,
stuff
like
that's coming in the spring.
is like
The only remotely interesting thing coming in the winter is Assassination Classroom, in my
yeah,
opinion.
spring it's like continuations like Tokyo Ghoul and JoJo and all the winter leftovers, and then it's like just Assassination Classroom and like what else? There's like Death
Death
Oh, and
Parade.
don't forget, there's also what is
and
it? The Kotaro Uchikoshi written show.
which
But that's
one?
in spring.
What happened?
Here.
Punchline is
Isn't that
spring.
yeah?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I said.
yeah, spring.
Like I'm
Yeah,
excited for that.
well, for me, I don't think Punchline is going to be able to face up against Blood
I'm
Blockade,
just saying,
Battlefront,
that
and,
to me, with
Ninja
map,
Slayer.
that's the thing with that's just the thing for me. Having watched a couple good series from Mappa now,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
yeah,
sure they'll be
I'm really, and actually, it's the
good, but
strangest thing that Mappa made, Take You, or
yeah,
whatnot. That is the
TQ.
strangest thing.
And
But
there's going to be a
the
continuation of
fourth
TQ
season.
on that season.
I should
Like I was
watch that.
saying,
Spring.
now that I've watched a couple Mappa series, and the fact that the person who wrote the Zero Escape series is writing Punchline, I can't wait to watch it. Even if it disappoints, like to me, that's the shows I'll probably be hyping
Yeah,
when
the
it gets closer to
description
spring.
kind of weird to me, but I'm still hopeful for it.
Yeah. Yeah, but
The world will be destroyed if he sees pennies. Oh my gosh. What?
See, for winter, the one show that I'm kind of that I'm interested in is Kofuku Graffiti, just because it's
No, I
done by
actually want to watch
Shaft.
that.
Just
that's
because
that
of Chef.
Shaft
I want to watch
Like,
that too.
food porn one.
That's the only reason I'm interested in that show is because it's Shaft.
Yeah.
What's the odds of
Studio
people
Shaft.
doing head tilts when they're like flipping food or something like that?
Very high.
100%.
It will happen at least once per minute. No, that's probably an exaggeration. That's too much, even on Studio Shaft levels.
Well,
But
who knows? Because I mean, Atacama Under the Bridge was made by Shaft, and there's like barely any head tilts in there.
But that's really. Well, I
Like-
thought that was like kind of old for Shaft, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know. That was made back in 2010, so maybe they weren't doing it as much then. But I don't know.
I know it's become like such a signature thing for Studio Shaft, but then I'm seeing it in other shows as well now.
They did it in
Grisaia.
Grisaia, for God's sake.
Grisaia, okay, what was it? 8-bit that animated Grisaia? They just
Yeah.
wanted to be Shaft.
It's like we're aiming to be Monogatari, but not aiming to be Monogatari at the same time.
Yeah, like that felt like they did a good job if that was their goal, because there were times that I was like, is this animated by Studio Shaft? And there were quite a few of those moments early on, actually. But
Anyways,
If you want to know how hype I am for the spring season, I think I'm like more excited for Ninja Slayer than the Grisaia continuations even.
yeah,
I know
like
I am.
I've been
It's
reading
Trigger.
Blood Blockade Battlefront, and I'm super excited for the anime for it. And I've watched the PV for it like a bunch of times, and I just love how like Bones is just going all out with it. Just the visuals that they did with like the background, like that's from what little I saw of the latest adaptation of Fate Stay Night, that's like almost UFO table level quality right there.
And I've watched the
But,
Ninja Slayer preview like 10
Yeah,
times, I
Ninja
think.
Slayer, that's like they're going for 80s anime, and it just looks really good for sure.
Okay, so
Yeah, it
here's
looks like
here's
them
how.
Kill La Kill.
should we
Here's-
finish Grisaia up?
Yeah, we should go. We should probably
Okay.
wait until the end to talk more about the next seasons.
We'll talk about spring later. Grisaia. Can we talk about the last episode?
Yeah, just like really quick.
Yes.
I thought the bullet time section was really cool.
Yeah. Along with the part when he killed the maid chick's mother, easily one of the more like, even though you knew it was gonna happen, probably one of the more badass moments of the series. Just 10 centimeter window of error or something like that.
10 centimeter field of fire.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember, but just probably one of my another badass moment for the main character.
When he was just like a walk-in badass moment. Like I can't think of a single time where he wasn't badass.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anything else about Grisaia?
I'm good. I can't really think of anything.
All right.
They had to show the dude start getting a boner. Why?
Anyways, let's see. Denki-Gai. So that show had probably one of the biggest turnarounds I've seen in this year.
I thought we covered that already.
Oh yeah, we did. Or no, we didn't cover the series. We covered that we were talking about an Amagi, I think, or maybe it was Amagi, or Gugure Kokkuri-san maybe.
It was Gugure.
Yeah, but Denki-Gai. Yeah, that really was a series that sort of came around after the first episode.
Denki-Gai, I was not going to watch the second episode until you told me to.
Yeah, and
Like, I wasn't ready to abandon it yet, even though I really didn't enjoy that first episode.
yeah, I
But then
enjoyed the first episode.
JJ says
but,
JJ was like, oh, you have to watch the next episode, and it was just like the strangest thing. What the fuck is going on? Because there's like, you know, like fan servicey zombie stuff and all that. I was like, what is going on?
Foo
Like,
Girl.
this is like, could you have like a bigger turnaround from your first episode?
And to be fair, the series in general was pretty inconsistent in what tone it was going for, but it usually, after the first episode, it pretty much had a lot of quality, had a lot more quality compared to the first episode. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it did actually. I thought like sometimes it would go for more chill episodes, but other times it's like over the top comedy, like in the second episode.
I wonder how many people dropped it after the first episode and missed out on a fairly decent show.
Probably a lot. I don't know.
Because I know I would have been one of them if it wasn't for you guys posting screenshots on Twitter. So
Yeah, I think I went overboard on the second episode when I saw it. Just
yeah, good. Good thing it wasn't a plot-driven show because I'm like crazy about like media blackout for spoilers. But like when it's something like Denki-Gai that I don't really mind.
Yeah.
You know.
And to be fair, that they did actually like not just the comedy, they also did the drama and the or not drama, the sort of romance aspects pretty well as well.
Yeah, I liked the character development a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they.
I also like Oh no, you go. You go.
Oh no, you go.
Okay, fine. I loved in I don't know if it was the last episode or the second to last episode where they all were like cosplaying as characters that
Oh
their
yeah,
voice actors had previously voiced. That was one of my favorite parts of the show.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's like a
Like
nice
I
little,
was freaking out when I saw
a
that.
nice little reference to the voice actors themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I only knew out of the characters. I only knew the dude from what's it called?
Sword Art Online or
Yeah, Sword Art Online. Knew that guy. Knew the dude from the Devil as a part timer, and the chick, blue hair chick from Nichijou.
There
Yeah,
was there was Sensei was dressed as Yui from Yuri.
yeah, I know she
Uh,
was a Yuri character. I just didn't know which one.
That's it was. I didn't know which one either, but I looked up who she had voiced.
Yeah, I was looking up the ones that I didn't know. I did know who Salmalary was dressed as from the start, since that there's only one series I could think of that actually would have a character like that, and that was Outbreak Company.
What was that character he was dressed as? Did they even like make noise? Did they have a
Yeah,
voice?
yeah, he had a voice. It's just he didn't really talk that much.
Was it the same voice actor, or was it just
Yeah,
a
it
reference
no, it was
to?
the same voice actor. Like
Oh, okay, cool.
actually, that voice actor who voices Salmalary-kun, he doesn't really actually have a lot of roles under his belt. Like the only,
And
yeah,
I feel like the ones he has are kind of easy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can do like.
yeah,
Hmm.
like the character in Outbreak Company is
Mhm.
just like he only says a couple of stuff, and he's pretty minor character. But yeah, in Denki-Gai, it's only like grunts. He never
Yeah,
actually talks.
I don't think he has a single line. It's like the script just must be happy grunt.
Yeah.
Sad grunt. Mhm.
I will give credit to Thank You Guy. It has probably one of the more surprisingly touching episodes in that one episode where Sommelier and the inspector.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, that was a
that's
really
what I-
good
yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is sweet in the most weird way.
Yeah, it was weird, but it was really
Yeah,
it was very enjoyable.
it was sweet and about hentai Euros, Euromags,
Erotic novels.
pretty much erotic doujinshi. But yeah, Dinky Guy, it's like I wouldn't call it my favorite comedy this season, but it's easily up there. Then again, I think it's only it and Gugure Kokkuri-san are probably the only comedies the season I can
Yeah,
think
probably
of.
the only one. Probably much like
Which
the
is-
only
which
comedies
I
that
is
are
think those are the
weird.
only two I watched.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I remember last season had a crap ton
Yeah, it
of
was like
comedy.
jam packed. Like Barakamon had comedic. That was
Yeah.
a combination of slice of life and comedy. Nozuki was comedy.
Yeah,
Great
Sabagabu.
comedy at the end.
Yeah.
Sabagabu, and there's probably a couple other ones.
Yeah,
that,
there was a bunch of other ones as well. But
Yeah.
this season it was mostly like action and stuff, and just it was a weird contrast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly give Denki-Gai my recommendation, and I definitely recommend just even if you don't like the first episode, go continue on to the second episode. You really need to watch that to get an idea of what the series is like. All right.
I don't even know if the second episode is really what the series
Yeah,
is like. It's just entertaining enough to make you want to watch
Yeah,
more.
now I
Hey,
think about
that's
it.
the thing. If anybody would ever just want to check out, and you have to check out those first two episodes just to sort of get how Denki Guy was throughout,
Yeah.
because it's just like you go for there's just these contrasting things that it
Yeah, it's
does. 'Cause
like
the
this
first episode was more like Moe work comedy.
Then you
Or
get
work-
over to
yeah,
the
work
second
Moe, yeah.
episode,
And then
and
it's
it's like
yeah.
dirty as hell. It's like references to balls and a man in a speedo, people running over waifu statues.
Just,
And
oh god, just my reactions to that second episode. I didn't even laugh much because I was more so shocked. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
yeah. And then there's that one scene where she had the move they were moving the balls, and it's like, why is it so soft and oval shaped?
I feel like you keep putting unnecessary emphasis on the word balls.
I was doing that last night with the pachinko balls from Kaiji.
and also like I don't even know how much I enjoyed the second episode, but it made me like it made me want to know what the third episode was going to be like.
Pretty much.
And then the third episode I think is actually the most reflective of what the series is like overall.
Yeah.
Because it kind of sticks to that from then on. But
just watch the first 3 episodes. But anyways, I guess moving on, you guys can talk about Inou-Battle. Oh wait,
Stranger?
I suppose I did sort of watch the first couple of episodes, so I have to be in this conversation as well.
Yes, you have to.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it too. Good.
Yeah,
Overall, good. I would say, there were better shows.
Yeah,
though,
like I don't think, like personally, I don't think it was bad. It just really wasn't what I was hoping for from the series.
Like he was like, I thought once they had the Hatoko part, it was gonna sort of like take off into something a little different from what it was in the first couple episodes, but then it just sort of goes back to how it was. And not that it's a bad thing, because you had in the last like 2 or 3 episodes, you had some pretty funny stuff, but to me it was like they sort of just took what they had and just sort of. And the thing is, it's an adaptation. It's obviously supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think for me, it was what I expected it to be, and I think for a lot of people it wasn't. But like for me, like it delivered on what I expected, which was basically just a normal slice of life show, but people have superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
They didn't capitalize on the fact that they had superpowers really at all. But I was okay with that because that's what I was looking for. So I think if you were going in expecting something else, then that's the kind of thing where you probably wouldn't enjoy the show as much, which makes perfect sense. But I I got what I was hoping for out of it, and it was a fun ride. So
Yeah, it was solidly enjoyable with a few flashes of like absolute brilliance just sprinkled in.
and also I liked the Kill la Kill references that were in pretty much every other episode.
Man.
They just straight up had Mako in it.
Yeah, I love
Mako
that.
was in the show, which already makes it awesome.
She was just like swimming by in the background in a pool,
Yeah.
and I just like stopped everything I was doing. I was like, "Holy shit, Mako was in this!"
She needs to just randomly be in every anime ever. No one would ever question it. Like, oh, she appears in here. It's just like her to do.
I think I'm just gonna throw in just like one hidden frame of Mako in every video I make from now on.
Just suddenly flashback, like, what the hell is this? It's Mako from Kill La Kill. That makes sense.
It'll just be like, find Mako. Which frame is she in?
You have people tearing apart your videos frame by frame.
I wouldn't mind. That'd be cool.
Yeah. But let's see. Anything else about Inou-Battle?
It
What
had
do you
this
think
one
about the
little
finale?
arc that
Well,
I liked the finale a lot, but
Yeah, the
it had
finale
this
was
one
amazing.
arc.
Go ahead.
It had this one little arc where it went into more of like the whole like battle thing, where it followed other characters and their whole like fairy war thing, which I didn't know how I felt about that. Like it wasn't bad, but I was like, so what's the
there's
point
a
of this
problem
fairy
with
war
this
thing?
call.
You know? So
Oh.
I kind of like I wanted it to go back to the normal slice of life type stuff, even though I was really interested in what they were doing, but I felt like it should have been its own show.
Yeah, I like that just because it made it so much more funny when they're all just sitting around, just dicking around in their club room.
Yeah,
While there's this
but
big epic
I
war to the
think
death going on.
yeah, overall I think
I think
like,
I just lost connection just
Yeah,
now. Am I the only
did.
one?
Yeah, you were the only one.
I have no
so
idea what the hell just happened.
I think overall that little arc did like I might have sounded negative a minute ago with it, but I think overall it did add a lot to the show, and I really liked it. It just because of what Stranger just mentioned of how when it cuts back to the normal everyday life and they're just sort of doing whatever they want, and there's this whole big. It was cool to have a sort of big thing going on in the background that the protagonists are completely oblivious to.
Next up, were we wanting to talk more about Inou-Battle, or were we moving on?
I really don't have
Yeah, I
much to
want
say
to talk
about
some
it.
more about the finale.
Were you saying you were wanting to talk more about it, or?
Yeah,
Okay, then go ahead.
I really enjoyed how they did that kind of like final confrontation between one chick who was like took over Mirai and Ando. Like they finally
yeah, that
made
was
it clear
so
with Dark
cool.
and Dark. Like that just went dark as hell. Like his attack is like really aptly named.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know if I
It's
don't know
more
if
than
I
just a party.
mentioned
It's
it.
more than just a party
Yeah,
trick.
I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast here, or even if I mentioned it to any of you guys at all in the past. But like way back when like episode 4 was around, I had this thing where I was like, Endo's power, it's useless now, but I bet it's the most
No,
powerful out
I
of all
think
of
you might
theirs.
have actually said that on the podcast before.
I might have, but I'm kind of glad that that's the way it sort of turned out.
Like it was still useless. It was beyond useless. It just went straight into harmful
What?
territory.
That's yeah, no, it's still okay. You can't say it's useless. They used it for something.
It was just so useless to end up useful because of that.
Basically, it was he can light something on fire and that fire can never go out. So the only way that they could put it out was to open up another dimension and throw it into that one.
No, it wasn't even lighting something else on fire. It was lighting yourself on fire. Not able to put it out.
Yeah, no, the only way he could stop it was cutting off his own hand and then regrowing it with Sayumi's power.
Yeah, that guillotine was grim as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Like,
okay, what were they thinking about? Like, why do they need a guillotine for that? I mean, I get why they needed a guillotine for that. That was a dumb
is this more
question. But
effective
like,
to chop off your arm like that?
what was going through their mind where they were like, I know what'll fix this situation: a guillotine.
Would you have rather used a bone saw or something? At least that's automatic.
I mean, the guillotine is supposed to be.
Yeah,
It's
would
supposed to
like
be like one and done. But
yeah. Would do you think they'd really rather using like a bone saw on him or something? Just
I don't
having to
know.
personally hack off his arm.
Either way, it's not a happy situation.
Yeah.
Oh no. I thought they were just hamming it up with how they would tell him never to use it again, but no. Like yeah, they were right about that. I totally thought they were joking when they started doing that the next episode. We'll never speak of this again.
Yeah, they didn't even show when he like awakened it. They just sort of skipped to after that.
Yeah,
Unless I missed out on a section.
no, you didn't.
Okay,
Because
so
that's why I thought they were hamming it up because they never
they never showed it
showed
actually
what
happened.
happened.
All right.
And I thought that was also pretty cool. Like he just kind of hugged her and told her to trust him.
Yeah.
Like he gets really cool at certain moments of the
Endo is a cool
series.
character. I like him a lot. He's a really cool protagonist.
Which is why I tell you should watch Sidetrack no Ichisan, because the protagonist is dead up like him. Only pervy instead of Chuni. The show is amazing.
I'll consider it. I'll consider it since there's probably not going to be much else for me to watch for the next couple
No,
of
no,
months.
there's not.
I can finally
You
get
can
back
just
to
watch
Katana.
nonstop Saikano.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spend a day. You can't marathon Katana Guitar in a day, or I couldn't. 'Cause,
Well, how many episodes are you in?
I still have like 9 episodes left to go.
So, yeah, that's like 9, 18. That's like the equivalent of 18 episodes.
Yeah, so that would be each episode's about an hour long. So
Yeah.
that would be me waking up, watching Katana Guitar for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I used to do that sometimes, but even like last night with Kaiji, I was up until like 4. Like I
I
started
can
at 2 and I ended up at 4.
I think the only time I've done anything like that was with Angel Beats, where I just watched that entire series through in one sitting, basically.
Well, I used to have a lot of free time, so I usually, whenever I didn't have school, I'd just do that, basically. Marathon a full-on 26 episode or so series in a day. But, yeah.
Yeah,
Did
I
it with
think
robotics notes.
I think second time through I did.
Uh,
Wait.
what do we have besides?
Oh, yeah, we
What
should
do we have
move
left
on.
besides? Yeah, what do we have? What do we have left?
Let's see. Lord Marksman and Vanadis, The Seven Deadly Sins. I can't understand what my husband is saying. A couple of other series, I think, that we each individually watched, or just two of us watched.
I've watched Weekend Stranger, and I can probably talk about. I can't understand what my husband is saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if either of you have.
Yeah,
No, we watched it. We watched
we
it.
all watched.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So we can all talk about it.
Yeah. And I know me and Alex watched both Lord Marksman and Vanadis and The Seven Deadly Sins, and
Well, Seven Deadly Sins, that's just continuing.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's really not much to talk about. Just to say how really get that out of the way now. I'm just like, surprised by how much I'd probably put it as my second favorite
yeah,
series come out of the
I
fall
think
season.
that's same for me. It's like my second favorite series of the season, for sure.
Oh,
And especially
yeah.
when you consider when I first watched it, I was like pretty iffy on it, and then now it's like my second favorite series of the season.
Yeah, like last episode's pretty good too, with everything that happened in it. With what's her name returning?
The Elizabeth's sister, and then there's the like Jericho and Gila.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the love hat guy basically turning into that other guy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Is it on break or is it out yet? Because that's what I
I
was thinking. Maybe it's on break this week.
It
Because
might be
I
they're
on
think there's a
break,
bunch of
'cause-
things going on break this week.
yeah.
Because they're switching up the airing schedules for next
Yeah.
season.
But yeah, like
Yeah,
yeah,
episode 13 isn't up yet, so I'm assuming it's on break.
as for Lord Marksman and Vanadis, like I said, it's like what you talking about. What I
Yeah.
even said.
It-
In that it has like really, really good character development, or like at least character interaction.
Yeah.
It's just that sometimes the pacing, the way how fast
Yeah.
things happened,
It's
sort of
like
threw
they're
everything off.
explaining all this crap that's going on, and you can't keep up with it. Like, who are these people? What is this country? Who are these kings and stuff? Or not kings, these lords and stuff, and it's like they just throw it at you at once and then move on. And then there's the fact that the battles themselves, they go as fast as they do that they're basically over by like halfway through the episode, and then you're moving on to something else.
Yeah.
And then there's the fact that it is actually an ecchi series, so you got that the whole fan service crap that comes in
Which,
every now
which in
and
my
then.
opinion, actually seemed to sort of ramp up in the last few
Yeah.
episodes. To be honest,
Yeah,
but
and to be fair, in the middle they were just having huge blocks of almost no fan service at all, and then there's these parts at the end where it's like all the fan service. It's honestly, if you just took out the character, is because that's the thing I like about the series is the main character himself. He actually is honestly, he actually does feel like a general or a lord, and you just and plus his skill actually does make him badass, sort of.
yeah, but he's
But
also like until like the last. I would say overall, Tigger is a bit bland as a character most of
yeah,
the time.
as a character himself, he's kind of bland, but he actually does fit in as like a leader, sort of.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and then there's the whole stuff like whenever they do fan service in the series, it just feels so out of his character. It's like, why is he grabbing this chick's boob? It doesn't. There's nothing indicating him. Like, does he secretly grab chicks' boobs in his sleep or something all the time? Like, what is up with that?
Yeah. Yeah, overall good, but like
Yeah,
I would never recommend it over.
yeah, not everything else. I'd recommend from the season first.
Yeah, I would never recommend it over Seven Deadly Sins or Bahamut.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. By the way, Adam, did you watch Chaika this season?
Yeah.
Adam.
Yes. Hi. Hello. I did watch Chaika.
Yeah.
I also zoned out a little bit. Um, I thought it was good. I
Yeah.
think the ending was a little
Yeah.
bit
Yeah. They rushed it like.
but I
Honestly,
didn't mind that much.
yeah. Honestly, though, as far as the ending is concerned, if they actually did like have 2 extra episodes and split it the last episode among those, it actually wouldn't really. I don't think it would have been as rushed. Like
No.
if they did that, it would have been actually kind of perfect for an ending.
Yeah, I think it could have been executed slightly better, but I didn't really feel like it
Yeah.
detracted.
Yeah,
Um,
it was still enjoyable, but
it didn't make me it didn't like I bring it up that the ending felt rushed, but it didn't make me enjoy the show less. It's just something that I noticed.
yeah.
Um, I still thought it was I thought
I
it was a
still
good
find
time.
it funny how if he had made the contract with uh what's Dragoon's name again? I forgot.
Um, Frederica.
Frederica.
I
If he
mean Kenny.
yeah, if he made it with the if he had made the contract with Frederica sooner, it's like 90% of his problems probably would have been solved. Because, like, he has those knives that are basically part of him, sort of. So, and just how he defeated his former master by just elongating them to the point where they basically impaled the guy. Like, that would have helped in a lot of situations.
Agreed. I called Frederica Kenny because she just dies a lot.
And then remember in season 1 where she first dies and then she does like that alien sort of thing where she pops out of her own chest.
Yeah, Chibi Frederica.
Yeah, it's like one of those face hugger gut bursters.
Yeah. Frederica's awesome,
Yeah,
but she definitely didn't get enough screen time.
no, definitely not.
And most of the screen time she had, she spent dead.
Pretty much.
So and that disappointed me because Frederica's probably one of my she's easily one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character from that show. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like her character, and I thought it was a fun ride.
Yeah. Yeah, between the two seasons, I still preferred season 1 better, but overall, it was a pretty solid continuation of the series.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's going to be like an OVA on the way or something.
There is in spring.
Yeah. Oh, spring. Which yeah, we'll talk about later. But let's see, what else do we have? I can't understand what my husband is saying. Yeah, that's I pretty much what I've been saying before. It's really really good, but if it
Needs
just
more
had
time.
more time, it would have been really fantastic. I mean, what it is, it's really good by itself. Like, it's not like the time actually detracts from the quality. It could have been like excellent if it had more time to actually work with.
Yeah. I think what I did with that series was in the beginning I really wasn't enjoying it very much, and I think we're talking about Donna again, right? I can't understand what my husband is saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so I zoned out a little bit again. Sorry. With that series, the 3-minute format didn't really work for me. So what I wound up doing was I just put it on hold for most of the season and just watched almost the entire thing like last week.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a much better experience. Just sort of like watch it all together in like about a half an hour. So that's my input on that. I like the characters a lot, and I like that they referenced other shows
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah. But anything else on? I can't understand what my husband's saying. Wait, isn't it getting like another season?
yep,
Yeah, it is. It's getting second season in spring,
Yeah.
along with everything else
spring.
ever in spring.
Spring.
Too
Can we
much
just
shit
skip
coming out.
winter entirely?
What?
Can we just skip winter entirely?
Yeah, that would be nice. Like, just carry over all of the continuations and just fast forward to that.
I could just use winter to watch a bunch of shows. I said probably still gonna wind up watching anyway.
I'm using winter to like watch shows from the past couple of years that I missed out on.
Yeah. Okay. Any other series we want to talk about from this season?
I dropped Shigatsu wa Kimi no Uso.
I didn't.
Nah, I didn't. Is that that one piano one you watched?
Yeah.
I just
I
started
still haven't
watching it
watched that yet.
recently.
So
I just started watching it recently, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I think the characters are
I'd say
really fun.
Shirobako. I wasn't say. I'd say Shirobako if any of you seem to give a shit
Yeah.
about it. I'm
hmm
like the only one that seemed to care.
No,
So,
I've seen Shirobako. I did jump on later, but
that's probably one of the more
I'm
like
really liking it.
Yeah, me too. Just I'm actually looking forward to when it gets back to. Is that you think that's probably on break too?
Yeah, it's
A week break.
I remember something about it being on break this week.
Yeah.
A lot of the Crunchyroll shows are on break.
Well, right now they're in the DDoS attack, so we wouldn't be able to watch them anyways today.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I
That
can't
is
really
that
think of
is
anything
true.
else to talk about.
So what were you saying about Shigatsu, Adam?
Um, I'm enjoying it a lot because I think the animation for the most part is really cool. I like the art style. Um, it has really good music, um, and the characters are all a lot of fun, and it's I feel like there's a nice balance between in screen time with the supporting cast and the sort of main two. Um, and I think that's something that a lot of shows miss out on is that sort of giving their supporting cast enough screen time. Especially when because I feel like there are shows like Blue Spring Ride was one that very notably suffered from having a really good supporting cast and just not showing them.
I don't even remember the supporting cast.
Exactly. They got like 4 seconds of screen time. um, but they were all good characters. You just didn't see them enough or at all. And it but and so yeah, we were talking about Your Lie in
Got you.
April.
Yeah.
As a piano player, I'm enjoying it a ton. Actually, I guess I haven't played piano in a little while now, so you could almost call me a former piano player to relate me to the main character a little bit more. But I'm enjoying it a lot just as a person who likes piano and violin as well. I don't play violin, and I probably never will, but it's a cool instrument. I like the way it sounds. And
I played violin like in 3rd grade. I actually would like to go back to it. It's just like, I probably can do jack shit today. I'll continue.
So, but it's
Just thought I'd let you guys know.
fun facts. But I'm enjoying it a lot. I think it's a really good show. I got very hooked on it. I think it's got a lot of I'm gonna hold that off. I want to mention first, I think it's got some of the best monologues I've ever heard, like internal monologues. It's like this entire show is poetic, and I really like that in this. And it's got it's poetic. The way that just the way the narration is spoken, or at least the way it's translated. Whoever the translation made it beautiful, and like that's the best way I could describe it. And also, the music is fantastic. I know I'm mentioning that too many times, and the show itself visually is symbolic. In they almost there are certain moments where they take there's a lot of symbolism of or they sort of I don't know if symbolism is the right word, but they take concepts and make them literal. In that when there's a certain moment where the girl who plays violin is trying to convince the boy who plays piano to be her accompanist at a competition, and he hasn't played piano in a long time. And when he finally agrees to do it, he like literally steps out of a shadow that he was in, like he was in the shade, and he steps out into the sunlight where she was, and that was like, oh, I thought that was amazing how they literally took him out of a dark place and did it metaphorically at the same time. And that was something that I noticed that I thought was fantastic. One of the highlights.
Yeah, I don't know. I ended up dropping it just because they were milking that melodrama just way too much. Like, I just kept on and on about his mommy issues and I'm not being able to hear piano, and after like 10 episodes, it was kind of wearing thin.
Well, he definitely had some rough times. He has like piano PTSD, which, given his treatment and everything, makes kind of sense.
I mean, like, it's very much like an Evangelion type situation with Shinji and the robots, but only instead of like trying to save the world by fighting a giant mechs, it's just him playing a freaking piano. So it's kind of weird to have a similar situation there.
Yeah, I can
It doesn't.
understand that.
It just does not work for a music anime like that. At least not for that long. Which is why my patience was really wearing thin.
I don't know. I think it's kind of weird and cool, and I don't really know how they're going to overcome that challenge. But I don't think it's detracted from the show for me the same way it has for you. Maybe I just have more patience with the concept. But
So, wow, we have been going for almost 2 hours already.
Yep, pretty much.
Damn you, Adam.
you're welcome.
It's always you, Adam.
Do you want to talk about spring now?
Have you watched Garo?
No.
Or all right, then let's move on. So, should probably talk about winter first then. So let's see. Continuation. Let's see. We have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the second part of the Stardust Crusader. So that's going to be a nice getting back to JoJo.
Hype.
And then the second season of Tokyo Ghoul, where Ken is finally an interesting character, hopefully.
Supposedly, this is where things get really good, according to
Yeah.
manga readers.
And then we have leftovers from fall. Let's see, Seven Deadly Sins, Garo for me, Log Horizon Season 2.
There it is. Yeah.
And let's see, new series we have Assassination Classroom, Death Parade, what else?
I need to look at the
Kof2
list.
Graffiti.
Yeah. There's that Virgin Witch Mary thing that doesn't
That looks
really
dumb.
sound that good. But I did see the preview, and it's production IG at their usual quality, so I'll probably at least check it out.
Oh, don't forget, and this is something apparently Funimation acquired the license for, that Magical Boys show.
What?
Yeah, it's a show about dudes wearing dresses, magical girl dresses, and apparently there's some sort of pink koala, because you have to have that special mascot.
Sounds dumb.
Yeah, let's see, what else? I have no idea what this Rolling Girls show is about, but it looks moe. So it's probably something Rado might like.
Oh my goodness. It'll pick up all the, even slightly moe shows.
I have no idea what Yaro no Yaterman is, but it sounds interesting.
I have no idea what that is either.
There's that Yuri Kuma Arashi, or that series about Yuri Bears or whatever.
What?
What?
I have no idea, but it's done by the same guy who did what was it, Penguin Drum and what was the other one? It's on the top of my Utina one, which people seem to like a lot. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be good.
There's the second season of Durr.
Durarara.
Abbreviated as DRRR or Durr.
Yeah, me and Adam were talking about that in voice chat before we got on here, and we just kept going back and forth at each other. We're just like, hey, Adam, how about that Durr?
There's a show that's going to be starting late in January that it's called Isuka, that looks interesting other than the word ecchi being in the description, which worries me.
Yeah.
Other than that, it might be cool. I don't know. The whole winter thing with the new shows is just kind of like, it's all maybe.
Everything I'm seeing is either continuations or maybe. The only one I'm sure that I'll watch is Assassination Classroom and
I'm not even sure.
Death Parade, and even with Death Parade, I didn't really care as much for Death Billiards as others do. So I don't know.
So what is this Death Parade going to be?
Have you watched the Death Billiards short?
No, I haven't.
You should. It was during when Little Witch it was in that one contest with Little Witch Academia, and it's by Madhouse, and it's basically two men go and find themselves sort of in limbo, which is like a bar, and basically they have to play a game that's chosen by not chosen by the bartender, randomly selected by the bartender, and as you play the game that they in the short is basically pool, but the thing is that basically they're playing they assume it's their life, but it's, well, I won't spoil it, but it's sort of different in the short itself. But so it's sort of the concept itself, it's interesting. You actually get you have this younger guy and this old man, and they're sort of playing pool against each other for what they assume is life or death, though it's not really stated as well. But the concept itself, it's interesting, the Sword of Limbo thing, but the execution, as far as the short was concerned, I didn't think it was as well.
So
But
this this death parade, is that just going to be like a similar thing but with different games?
yeah, it's like the bartender and the I'm not sure, the waitress or whatever she is. They're still in in the in the show. They're going to be in Death Parade. But I think it's sort of like, I'm guessing it's going to be like where it's a different game each week and two individuals go in and play it
Okay, that might
and
be
decide their
cool.
fate.
That was
Yeah,
different than what I thought it was going to be.
yeah, the concept sounds interesting, but in the execution I didn't think was as well. Like, in some ways it sort of reminded me of Kaiji in that sort of like a game to the game of survival sort of, but well, I'm not going to spoil what it is, but it's sort of different. But yeah, the concept itself actually was interesting, I thought. So I'm just hoping Madhouse will be able to do the execution better. But otherwise, I can't really think of anything else that looks that interesting
Well,
from Winter.
there's
Or wait,
one.
well,
If we're gonna go,
there's this short series right down here called Miritari on the Winter any charts. It sounds like it could be, I don't know, a funny comedy maybe. But other than that, I can't think of anything.
so um, there's one. It's Saikano, with or that's like the shortened title. Now I think this is one of the ones that is it's almost like a coin toss for me. This could like just reading the description, it could either be really good or really bad. And the reason it caught my eye is because the base plot reminds me of a manga I tried reading a while ago.
And which one is
Which
it?
is the show is Saikano, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend.
Oh, I
Um,
think I heard of that one.
and it's going to be A1 Pictures
Yeah.
animating it, which they're kind of hit or miss with me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It could. It seems like it could potentially be interesting. I'll probably
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
But it kind of seems a bit. Here's I'm not sure how this is gonna work, but it seems like a sort of outline we could go with is Shirobako, but with manga and a little bit more comedy,
Yeah.
not so serious. That's a possibility. I'm not saying that's what it is. That's just a little analysis from me.
Yeah. Still loading on for spring season. Anything else to talk about winter, or should we move on to spring?
Kofuku Graffiti, I'm gonna watch because it's Studio Shaft, and I'm probably gonna like it because it's. I haven't seen something by that studio that I haven't liked, so I'm hoping. Like, I know I did mention this before, but if it wasn't animated by them, I wouldn't even be giving the show a chance. But based on the description they've got up of it, but but it could be a fun ride considering the studio it's coming from.
Yeah.
The only
All
new
right.
stuff I'm watching is Kafuki Graffiti, which Shaft, Assassin Classroom, which I've heard is good, and then I'm pretty for sure Psychono's gonna be shit, but I'm gonna try it anyways.
Yeah.
Like, it's giving off bad vibes.
Yeah. But anyways, I guess let's move on to spring season.
I think we should skip that
This.
to next week, because we're already
Uh,
going on for over 2 hours.
yeah. Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Spring hype.
Plus, we already kind of talked about it a little bit,
Yeah.
so all right. So, do we want to talk about other anime we've been watching,
I
or
haven't really been
go
watching
on?
watching much, to be honest.
All I watched
Yeah.
was Fate Stay Night, and since I'm gonna finish that before next week, we can talk about that in the end of the year review.
We pretty much covered everything I was watching earlier.
Yeah, I've already said I've watched Saint Young Men and Kaiji.
So
that's pretty much it.
There's one thing that I'd like to say about spring that's not going. This just that is sort of just showing how hyped I am for it. Is pretty much every other season I've ever watched in simulcast. I only started watching simulcast of anime earlier this year, like with Winter.
Yeah, I think I started like a season or two before that.
So like Winter 2014 is when I started watching simulcasts. Each season, I've only gone into the season expecting to like maybe 3 shows. Like I've only gone into the season planning to watch 3 shows, like something around that, like a low number. And then all the other ones I've like learned about from you guys. But I've only seen 3 shows that actually grab my interest each time I was looking at the chart of what's coming up. For spring, there's 8.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about those another time. But just showing how, like, I don't know, I have high expectations.
I was gonna say, on a related note to spring, before we move on, and also talking about Nisekoi, my brother, we had been talking about it, and he was on a thread apparently about Nisekoi, and someone came up with an ending where he said he wouldn't be surprised if the ending in store for Nisekoi at this point is Raku finally decides who he wants to be with, only for it to end with him getting hit by a bus. And I told him I'd actually just like to see that ending simply because I hate Raku as a character.
Don't you
You're a
hate all
terrible
the
person.
characters?
I like the one blue hair chick, so she's the underdog, so that's about it. That's about it.
Alright. I guess then moving on. I didn't have any news selected, so what have you got?
Only news I had was the
Crunchyroll's down.
Yeah. Only news I had was Funimation acquiring the Magical Boy show because I thought it was just funny.
Yeah.
And then all I had was the sequels to Grisaia and Denki-Gai, but we already talked about those.
Yeah. Alright. Anything else?
Nothing.
Alright. Let's move on to games or viewings we recommend. So how about you, Alex?
I'll recommend Just Cause 2. Really good open world game, and well, its story is, for the most part lacking and just sort of cheesy. It's pretty much what I expected out of especially after San Andreas is what I expected open world games to move to, like just completely over the top shit. And I actually recently rebought it during the Steam sale, and I can't wait to play it again. Even though that's far off, because I'm probably gonna be playing every other game first. And I have like 15, like on like Steam alone, I have like now 14 games to play.
Alright. And let's see, you, stranger?
I'm going to go ahead and recommend Danganronpa because so far it seems like VLR meets Professor Layton, and it's pretty freaking interesting.
Yeah. Alright. I'm going to recommend Tales from the Borderlands, Crypt of the Necrodancer, and Planetary Annihilation, because I loved all 3 of those games. And you, Adam?
Cloudberry Kingdom, which is an absolutely ridiculous platformer.
Which one? Cloudbreaker Kingdom? Is
Cloudberry
it that?
Cloudberry Kingdom.
I've not heard of that game before.
Look it up. It's platforming, but absolutely ridiculous. So, like, if you thought Mario was Mario on drugs because of the shrooms, you're wrong. This is it.
Okay, I'll have to look up that later. But I guess moving on, anime we recommend. So how about you, stranger?
It works as Studio Trigger because I'm way too hyped for Ninja Slayer right now. I just watched like Kill La Kill or Front on Cop or Inou-Battle or something.
Me, I'm going to recommend Rage of Bahamut Genesis, and just forget that it's based off of the game, as it is literally the most perfect D&D-esque series I've seen. And like the adventure is well crafted, and all the characters are fun and varied, and bounce off each other really well, and it's just a really good series. And see, how about you, Adam?
I'm gonna recommend Chunibyo Ren.
Fuck.
No, I'm kidding. I completely forgot. Inou-Battle. Watch it. It's fun.
Alright, and you, Alex?
Gugure Kokkuri-san.
Alright. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this longer episode of Divergence Cast. Thank you, Adam, for that.
Awesome.
Awesome panel for
And
the podcast.
oh yeah, and uh, well, please, if you want to follow this podcast or any of us on Twitter, all of our usernames will be in the description or blog post. Additionally, if we have Ask.fm or MyAnimeList accounts, they will be under the same usernames. And please subscribe to this channel and like this video. And until next time, later.
Peace.